Hello fellow AFOLs and welcome to Long's Bricks. Today we are taking a look at LEGO Star Wars Set 75283, the Armored Assault Tank, or AAT. Has 286 pieces. This came out in 2020 and retired at the end of 2022, so it was around for about 3 years. Retailed for $40. Now on the secondary market, I would say if you're looking to pick one up sealed, around $50, $55. If you're looking for one used, usually around $40. Hasn't gone up in value too much since it's only been retired for like a year and a half, 2 years at this point. But yeah, we have 4 minifigures. We have a battle droid and an AAT driver battle droid, although as far as I can tell, they are identical. So I'm not really sure why they're labeled as two different things on the box. Of course, you also get Ahsoka Tano and one of her clone troopers from the 332nd. I don't know, overall, I think it's a really nice set. We'll go ahead and start by taking a closer look at the box. Nice bit of artwork here on the front. You can see the AAT with the other battle droid over here, and then you have Ahsoka and the clone trooper over here. I'm not exactly sure what planet this is in the background. I'm sure someone in the comments could let me know. Have a clone trooper up here in the top corner. Up here you have Ahsoka in the 1-to-1 size. Not too much going on down here. Not too much going on the sides. Just a smaller picture of the AAT. Flipping it around to the back, another backdrop of that same planet, and shows the battle droid loading in one of the flick fire missiles, which is kind of neat. And of course you can have one of the droids ride inside as well as in the turret. Turret is able to move around. We'll check out all of that. But yeah, really cool packaging here. I really like the artwork on both the front and the back. For minifigures, we're starting off with Ahsoka Tano because of course we need to. She looks pretty phenomenal here. Now this is her look from episode 7 of the Clone Wars after Anakin gifts her the 2 blue lightsabers. They look fantastic. The printing's great, but I want to talk about that headpiece. Just a really nice headpiece there with the tails and everything. I think all of that looks absolutely fantastic. Removing the headpiece and her lightsaber so we can get a better look at that printing. Really nice printing there on the torso and the front of the legs. Unfortunately, nothing on the arms or side of the legs. And then she does have a second expression, so here's the first one on the front. And then we have a more determined, angry-looking expression here on the back. And then we have some nice printing on the back of the torso as well. I will say the headpiece can be a little difficult to remove. Sometimes the head wants to come with it, but it is kind of a softer, more malleable plastic. So it's not too terrible to get off. But again, just really nicely done, and I love all of the printing on that. Just looks absolutely fantastic. Next up, we have a 332nd Ahsoka Clone Trooper, which is basically a 501st Clone Trooper with a new helmet. Now, I believe this set is the only way to get one of these without the holes in the side of the helmet. They've done a 332nd Battle Pack, but those helmets have the holes on the side. So if you're looking for clones with no holes on the side, I think this is the only set to ever have one of these. I could be wrong, and feel free to correct me in the comments, but pretty much your standard clone printing there. The helmet, I think, looks really, really nice. And then underneath, we just have your standard clone head. And then last but certainly not least, we get 2 of these battle droids. So you can see we have kind of an olive green torso there with some printing on the head. Otherwise, the arms are standard battle droid arms and legs. Nothing new or exciting there. And as I said earlier, it lists them as different things on the front of the packaging. But as far as I can tell, they are identical. Now, I will say the head printing on my second one is a little off. You can see there it should be a little bit further back. But other than that, they are identical, so I don't really know why they are, labeled as 2 different things. But still great-looking battle droids. Nothing really new here. We've seen battle droids before. You get some additional arms in the packaging, so if you want them to have the 2 curved arms or the 2 straight arms to hold blasters, you can, a little bit mix and match there. But otherwise, same basic build of a normal battle droid, just with a little different color scheme. And then, of course, the main part of the set is the AAT itself. I really like it in this color scheme. The old, original tan color scheme is perfectly fine, but I really do find myself preferring this kind of navy blue and gray color scheme that I've got going on here. You do have the turret that can move side to side as well as up and down, so you have a good range of motion there. All the way back down. Of course, it can turn. These little turrets on the side can also turn, so you have a little bit of movement there. These pieces here on the side, I believe, are not supposed to move, but technically they can push like this up and down. And technically you could use that to fire the flick fire missile if you wanted to, even though it's not how it's designed. I believe they just use the hinge to achieve that 45-degree angle there, but there's nothing to lock it in place. So that can technically move, and I feel like every time I try to pick this up, they end up moving. You do have the 2 flick fire missiles built into the base right here, and what they do is they have these little pieces here that you're supposed to push this down, and that will cause this piece down here to push down on the missile. So and those things really fire. I mean, they really have some gusto to them. So we'll go ahead and slide this back in, and that will click into place. And then you just use, and it's a little awkward because this is so in the way of it, but you can still kind of get your finger in here and just pull that down. You can see that it moves this one over here, which is what actually pushes down on the missile to fire it. You do have a couple of clear tiles here on the bottom so that it can kind of move around pretty freely, which is nice. I think that works pretty well. You also, of course, have an opening here to have one of the droids pilot the tank, and we have 2 printed pieces here, little control panels. So you have one on that side, and then you have a different one right there. And we can go ahead and just take one of our little battle droids and drop him, and then we'll sit him inside here. Now he doesn't attach in any way, he just kind of naturally sits in there, and then you can just close this up so that he can pilot. You do have 2 stickers, you can see one right here and one right here. Those are the only 2 stickers in the set, so you just have the Separatist logo there, one on each side. Now you can also open up this hatch up here if you want to have one of the droids sit up here as a gunner. And there's not much going on down in here either. It's just an open area. And you can just sit him in here like that. Now this is not going to be able to close. I believe the intention is to have the hatch open if you have the droid up top. So you don't have to sit him all the way down if you don't want to. If you wanted him to, you know, stand up here or just be a little bit more visible, something like that, you could absolutely do so. I mean, technically, you could even attach his feet and just have him stand here like that. Since you can't close the hatch anyway, it might be more fun to have him a little more visible. I love the use of these, like, fencing swords as, you know, radar antenna and thing like that. I think that's so fun. It's a fantastic use for that piece. I really appreciate that. But yeah, it's a fun little build. I mean, it's a nice, you know, AAT. You have a lot of moving pieces here for the turrets and weapons, as well as the 2 flick fire missiles down here, and you can seat 2 droids comfortably, which is pretty cool. Technically, if you wanted, I guess you could stand a couple more on the side if you're just looking to move a couple extra droids around, but I think this is really great and is going to go well with my promotional droid carrier from May the 4th, so I can start to build out my droid army here. I think these 2 look pretty great together. Honestly, I think this is a pretty great set. I got this on eBay for, I want to say, around $45 shipped, which I thought was a great deal considering it was only $40 at retail. Now, I know these were on clearance a lot towards the end of their run, and I really wish I had picked up more of these, because I feel like this is a pretty good army builder set. I mean, it can't hurt to have more than one AAT. The battle droids and the clone trooper are perfect for army building. The only minifigure here that you might not need duplicates of is the Ahsoka Tano, of course, and you could probably sell that or flip that, or, you know, maybe trade with a friend, something like that. I feel like it's a desirable minifigure. So I really feel like this was a great army builder set, and I'm kind of mad at myself for not picking up more of these back when they were widely available. But like I said, because it's not too far out from when it retired, it hasn't really gone up in value too much. So if you are looking for one of these, I would definitely say move on it sooner rather than later, because in the next year or so, these are probably going to go up a lot. Especially with, you know, season 2 of Ahsoka coming, and, you know, that character, of course, is always popular, but when she has new media out, going to be even more popular, and so this is probably going to go up in value even more. But yeah, it's a great little set. I don't really have too much to complain about. Like I said, unfortunately, one of the printing on my battle droids is a little off, but, I mean, that happens. It's not really something that I can blame the set for. It's just a production error. But in terms of the AAT, I think it looks great. I love the color scheme. You know, it was a fun little build. It holds together well, and it's kind of difficult usually with things like this when you have these designs. It doesn't have any kind of tilt. It's very well balanced weight-wise, so that's fantastic. Yeah, I don't really have anything to complain about. I think the minifigure assortment is great. The AAT looks good. It was a fun little build. The Ahsoka figure is fantastic. And again, you can get a 3/32 clone without any holes in the side of the helmet. So that's a win in and of itself. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.